all hear me okay? 2 weeks ago, on November 30th, Matt, Nathan, myself, faith leaders, caseworkers, and advocates pitched our tents on the steps of the State House because hundreds of Rhode Islanders were sleeping on the street. Temperatures were plummeting, and our state had failed to act for 10 months while this crisis was spiraling. But in 2 weeks since the sleepout protests began, the state has found $4 million to expand shelter. The city of Providence has allocated $500,000 to expand shelter services. The city of Woonsocket plans to vote on $70,000 for emergency hotel vouchers. And today, just 3 days after nearly 100 people stayed the night out and hundreds more gathered in solidarity in a protest of Governor McKee's inaction, the governor has finally announced the opening of Memorial Hospital and a quarantine and isolation facility for our unhoused Rhode Islanders. As a result of all of these actions, our state will have over 400 new shelter spaces for our unhoused Rhode Islanders. Today, our sleepout comes to an end, but I want to be very clear about something. No one should have had to do this in the first place.
That's right.
Governor McKee, Senate President Ruggerio, and Speaker Chokarchi always had the tools and resources to solve the crisis of houselessness in the state.
Yes.
That's right.
They had the advocates present them a plan months ago. They had $1.1 billion of emergency COVID relief money from the American Rescue Plan. They had $600 million budget surplus that we gave them, and still they failed to act. Finally, once our protests became a political problem for them, Governor McKee decided to pay attention to hundreds of Rhode Islanders freezing outside in the street. We should have never had to cover the State House Plaza with tents just to get the governors to pay attention to this crisis. We cannot allow people to be without options for shelter heading into the winter ever again. I'm going to say that one more time. We cannot allow people to be without options for shelter. The dignity of shelter heading into the winter ever again in Rhode Island.
Yes.
That's right.
That's why this session I will be introducing a bill for Rhode Island to join Massachusetts as a right to shelter state. And I will be fighting for an eviction moratorium immediately. And Governor McKee, we are watching this closely. And if you ever allow this to be a crisis again in Rhode Island, Rhode Islanders have proven they will not stand for that. And we will hold you accountable, even with our bodies. I want to make it clear that these shelter beds have not solved the systemic economic issues that cause homelessness. We need more affordable and low-income housing. We need a living wage. We need people to be able to afford their basic needs like food and health care.
Yes.
But in order to get these things, we need a lot more than people sleeping outside on the State House begging for action.
Preach it.
We need elected leaders who actually care about the people in the state. I want to thank everyone who participated in the sleepout. Whether you've dropped off supplies, joined for the evening, stayed for the night, dared to believe that this was possible. Hundreds of people who played an essential role in getting change now for Rhode Islanders. I want to thank the incredible advocates and service providers who keep giving and giving and giving, and who have been pushing for this all year and for far, far too long.